I found the biker!
Not long ago, on a bridge, a car hit a streetlight, but the driver was nowhere to be found. The man in the passenger seat had his leg stuck. He kept pleading for the driver, saying the car lost control while trying to avoid a cyclist. At this moment, the firefighter saw a finger stuck in the front of the car. He immediately lay down to check and found the victim. The man's eyes were wide open. He had already been recalled by God. At the same time, on the bridge, a man was standing by the edge.
Hey, please, don't jump.
It turned out he was the driver. Afraid to take responsibility, he chose an extreme way.
No, he's alert and stable. Movement through his extremities.
But the man did not believe it at all. He saw with his own eyes that the person under the car was crushed. There was no response. The firefighter kept telling him that what you see is not always true. The person was only in temporary shock. Just then, the captain and deputy captain arrived.
Bike messenger guy, can you give him an update? He won't believe me.
Broken right femur, couple broken ribs. Apart from that, he's gonna be fine.
What'd I tell you?
Promise me you're not lying.
I promise.
The firefighter swore he was not lying. Only then did the man believe him. He was taken away by the police. A tanker truck overturned, an unknown green liquid spilled out. Water cannot put out the fire. It will only spread the leak. Only foam can stop it. The driver was trapped in the cab and kept calling for help.
Hang on in there! We're gonna come and get you!
The nearest foam truck would take another half hour to arrive, but right next to it was a river. If the chemicals got in, the city's water supply would be polluted. The fire spread to the tanker. It could explode at any moment.
Not even gonna get burned inside and out if you stays in there much longer.
Luckily, the foam truck arrived in time and put out the fire. The deputy captain ordered to raise the ladder, but the old firefighter did not know how to use the new equipment, unwillingly helped the rookie. The chemicals had already entered the cab. The driver lost consciousness. The firefighter broke the window and secured the driver tightly.
Paul!
The driver was lifted out and placed on a stretcher. The rookie was praised by the captain, but his trouble also came. Back at the fire station, the rookie even found dog food in his bowl.
Who put dog food in here?
Who could stand this? They started fighting right away. The captain stopped the chaos. They were called into the office. The old firefighter thought it would be handled like before, making a big issue small and a small issue nothing. But unexpectedly, the captain told him to leave. Do you think someone like him should be fired? The man lay on the ground and shouted for help. The firefighter was very close, but the moment he saw the man's face, he chose to ignore him. In the man's desperate eyes, he quietly closed the door and walked out. Back at the fire station, he was full of worry. The captain comforted him, saying he had done very well, just missed one person. If not for his bravery, more people would have died or been hurt. But they did not know that accident was done on purpose. The dead man was a gang leader. The firefighter's useless younger brother worked for that gang. He got locked up again and again. All his salary was used for bail. He once went to the gang leader and asked him to let his brother go, but the man asked for $10,000. For the firefighter, this was a huge amount of money. But for his brother's safety, he still said he would find the money. But that night, an SUV passed in front of him. His brother was beaten badly. It was clear the gang leader never planned to let him go. That day, a 6-story apartment building caught fire. He heard people say it was a gang gathering place. Without thinking, he rushed into the building, checking each floor and saving civilians. When he reached the 6th floor, the light detector showed someone in a room. He kicked the door open, but the moment he saw the gang leader's face, he hesitated. Maybe this was the best chance to solve his brother's problem. After a struggle in his heart, he chose to ignore him, closed the door, and walked out alone. His brother thought he was lucky to survive, but he did not know how much pain his brother carried. As a firefighter, he could not accept leaving someone to die. He went to the deputy captain and told him everything. The deputy captain told him, first, go to the police and turn himself in. Second, nothing happened. He told him to think why he made that choice and think about his brother's new life. Was it worth to destroy his own future for a harmful criminal? A house caught fire. A family of 3 was safely rescued by the ladder. Suddenly, the girl shouted, saying her dog was still inside. At that moment, the firefighter doing the last cover heard the dog barking. Ignoring the captain's order, he climbed into the room. The fire had already covered the whole house. He followed the sound, opened the door, the dog ran out quickly. Just as he was about to leave, a burned beam fell and hit him.
Man down! Man down! I'm going!
After hearing this, his teammates rushed up the ladder to save him. With the deputy captain calling him, he finally woke up. Then something unexpected happened. The fire burned through the floor. The old firefighter almost stepped into the hole. Luckily, with his rich experience, he avoided an early death just before retirement. After returning to the ground, he looked at the happy family of 4, felt he saved a family, but his teammates gave him strange looks, especially the old firefighter. who ignored him. This made him feel very painful. Afterward, the deputy captain warned him, during missions, he must follow orders. Acting on emotion and risking the team, he should leave. The old firefighter was angry because he almost died. This made him keep blaming himself. He was trapped in his past and could not move on. In the end, he gave up the job he loved and decided to leave the fire team. Before leaving, the old firefighter found him and wanted to know the real reason for his actions. Only then, he told the truth.
It's not right for me to bring my sins into this house and have my brother sacrificed for what I did.
Joe, listen to me. I forgive you.
The deputy captain went to the captain to submit his badge. The old firefighter came and stopped it, asked the deputy captain to refuse his resignation.
He screwed up. He knows it. But he was taking care of his family. How far would you go for the ones you love? How far have you gone?
In the end, the deputy captain said nothing, just gave his badge back to him. In life, who can live without mistakes? Right and wrong are always relative. The only thing we can do is help more people in need in the future. A house caught fire, but the front door was locked with chains. Even the windows were sealed tightly with newspaper. As soon as the firefighter stood at the door, he smelled marijuana. With their experience, they went around to the back of the house and saw the illegal power line set up by the homeowner. Without hesitation, they pulled it out and kicked the door open. Inside, it was packed with marijuana plants. They soon found the homeowner unconscious on the ground, broke the window, and carried him outside. Just as he went back to get his pry bar, something unexpected happened. Hearing the sound, his teammates stopped fighting the fire and started searching for him. Then they found the power inside the house was not cut off. His body was covered in wires. They did not dare to act rashly. Teammates outside quickly found the wire on the roof and pulled it off.
Casey, the secondary line is cut. We're still looking for other lines.
They used a wooden stick to move the wires off his body, reached out to test it. After making sure there was no electricity, carried him out.
How you feeling, Cap?
Smells like a fish concert out here.
She was stuck by a needle used by a homeless man. Just now, on a street at -10 degrees, a homeless man was shaking from the cold. They kindly helped him onto the ambulance and planned to take him to the hospital. But the homeless man was worried about high bills and strongly refused. She said it was warm there, and there were pretty nurses, so he finally agreed. But he had a high fever of 40 degrees Celsius, needed an injection first to lower it. As soon as the needle went in, the homeless man flinched in pain. The needle accidentally stuck into the paramedic's arm. As everyone knows, a homeless man may carry all kinds of viruses. His face looked pale yellow, his arm was full of needle marks. Soon, the homeless man was sent to the hospital, but he still refused a blood test. The doctor could not force him, so they could only guess what diseases he might have. Hepatitis A, B, or C were all possible, even carry HIV.
You're gonna be fine. The statistics are way in your favor.
I mean, it's like Russian roulette. Large bore needle filled with this guy's blood. If he has the hiccups, I'm gonna catch him.
The next day, she got a call from the hospital.
It's good. He's clean. He tested negative for everything.
She felt like she came back to life. Maybe this is what people mean by good people get good results.